Subscribe now, hit the notification bell, and be ready to embark on a visual adventure. Overview. Toyota's famous medium-sized Tacoma gets a total redesign for 2024. Under the more strong styling is a modernized suspension that assists the new Tacoma with riding more flawlessly over trenches and knocks than its ancestor. Likewise new is a setup of turbocharged 4-chamber motors that give further developed power and eco-friendliness over the old 4-chamber and discretionary V6. There's even another crossbreed powertrain choice. It doesn't actually get better efficiency, however it puts out a strong 326 drive and 465 pounds-to-foot of force. Edmunds Spotlight, the Tacoma's superior lodge. The 2024 Tacoma's inside looks more rough on account of more made right plan points and stout control handles. Pleasingly, it's likewise more agreeable to sit in. Previously, it could feel like you were sitting excessively near the Tacoma's floor, however added seat and guiding wheel change range this year permits you to pick a more regular inclination seating position. Likewise outstanding is the monstrous 14-inch focus touchscreen that is fitted to some Tacoma trim levels. The big screen has simple-to-squeeze fastens and functions admirably for showing route guides or outside camera sees. Contenders to consider. You'll have a ton of extraordinary options for a fair-size truck in 2024. The Chevrolet Colorado/GMC Gulch Twins and Portage Officer were overhauled for 2023 and are emphatically moved along. Jeep's Combatant is likewise refreshed for 2024 and keeps on being a prepared material for customization. Rough terrain is by all accounts a concentration with each automaker as well, as you can now purchase all set stone crawlers right from the production line. Peruse our Edmunds Master Rating beneath to assist you with choosing if the Tacoma is appropriate for you. Execution. How does the Tacoma drive? The turbocharged 4-chamber motor settles any worry that the deficiency of the Tacoma's old V6 motor would be an impediment to the truck's driving experience and capacity. We tried a TRD game with a 278 horsepower yield. It's energetic enough in and out of town and sufficiently able to impel the truck to 60 miles per hour in a decent 7.6 seconds in our testing. The transmission moves rapidly and easily, with no pointless changing or chasing after gears on slopes. We were additionally especially intrigued by the Tacoma's on-street slowing down execution. The pedal is responsive, however connects with the brakes without a hitch, making it a snap-to-scour off-speed precisely at any speed. Taking care of generally is a sorry worry to truck purchasers, yet the Tacoma's directing is light and exact and shows great habits on the roadway. Contingent upon the trim level, the Tacoma's rough terrain ability goes from unremarkable, because of a huge yet removable air dam, to imposing at both high and low paces. Stunt safeguards and cunning foothold control guarantee this truck will succeed in most rough terrain circumstances. Solace. How agreeable is the Tacoma? The Tacoma's wide and to some degree level front seats offer solace for individuals of shifting sizes. The fabric seats in our test truck felt somewhat coarse, particularly contrasted, and the discretionary manufactured cowhide upholstery, yet ought to demonstrate bounty sturdy over the long haul. The back seats aren't particularly spacious, which is regular of the fair-sized truck portion, and taller travelers felt the seat pads were excessively low and short for longer drives. How the Tacoma rides will rely generally upon which trim level you pick. Lower trim levels like the SR feel more like how you anticipate that a fundamental truck should ride, a piece solid. Higher grades offer further developed suspension frameworks that assist with streamlining the ride. All Tacomas benefit from obviously checked and simple to utilize environment control frameworks. The buttons and handles are adequately huge to be worked effectively while wearing gloves. Inside. How's the inside? Beside the tough-looking inside styling, the middle touchscreen is the most prevailing aspect of the Tacoma. Standard is a 8-inch unit, however our test truck had the overhauled 14-inch screen. It is simple to utilize menus and a sharp goal that makes the discretionary Encompass view camera framework look perfect. While numerous new vehicles are advancing toward virtual buttons, it's reviving to find such countless genuine fastens and switches in the Tacoma. Getting into the Tacoma isn't horrendously troublesome, yet the back seats are a piece harder to access because of the restricted measure of legroom. When in the driver's seat, the driver partakes in a fair plan of customizability, particularly from the slant and extending controlling wheel, and there's a lot of headroom for tall drivers. Innovation. How's the tech? Our test truck was furnished with the discretionary 14-inch touchscreen, and it just overwhelms the inside of the Tacoma. It appears a little awkward stuck on the scramble, yet packs a great deal of elements, including remote cell phone network and supportive voice controls. The Tacoma is furnished with a lot of USB-C charge ports and offers remote charging cushions as a choice. The close to vertical nature of the remote charge cushions, be that as it may, raises a few worries about telephones spilling and losing their charging association. Standard on all Tacomas is an assortment of cutting-edge driver helps that incorporate programmed crisis slowing down, path takeoff ready, maximum speed versatile journey control. From there, the sky is the limit. We by and large loved the supportive activity of the driver help frameworks and viewed them as neither excessively mindful nor inclined to phony problems. Towing and stockpiling. How are the towing and stockpiling? The Tacoma focuses on capacity and usefulness. There are 2 freight bed sizes and an accessible 400-watt family-style electrical plug. Tacomas furnished with the crossbreed powertrain get a lift to 2,400 watts. Inside, the Tacoma offers many capacity choices. Front and back entryways are packed with cubbies, just like the mid-control area. There's a helpful plate over the glove box as well. In the event that you select the extra cab setup, the region behind the front seats, however it's still just a 2-seat truck, is loaded up with extra capacity for bigger things, making it very down to earth for conveying things you'd prefer not to keep in the bed. In the 4-entryway 2-fold taxi, the back seat backs overlap down and the seat pads flip up to uncover extra capacity. Most extreme payload limit with regards to the Tacoma is a strong 1,705 pounds. Towing limit is more normal at 6,500 pounds when appropriately prepared. The Colorado maximizes at 7,700 pounds, for instance, yet the Tacoma ought to have the option to pull generally little to fair-size trailers. Mileage. How's the mileage? Regardless of which Tacoma you select, mileage ought to be comparative. We drove a 4-wheel drive TRD game, which gets a Toyota assessed 21 miles per gallon. We dealt with a somewhat better 22.6 miles per gallon on our assessment course. Despite the fact that the half-and-half powertrain is assessed to return comparable mileage, it creates impressively more strength and force than the standard motor. Of note, the Tacoma doesn't need premium gas. Esteem. Is the Tacoma a decent worth? Toyota offers an extensive variety of Tacoma trims to all the more likely match different truck customer needs and financial plans. However, lower-grade Tacomas put forth no attempt to conceal their absence of choices, and their insides are sprinkled with clear fastens and different indications of missing gear. More fundamental Tacomas additionally miss the mark on refinement of comparatively prepared Chevy Colorados and feel considerably more utilitarian. Guarantees of 3 years/36,000 miles and 6 years/60,000 miles for heavily congested and powertrain inclusion are about normal for the portion. Toyota additionally included 2 years of free upkeep and emergency aids. Special case. In the majority of its trim levels, the Tacoma is intended to be to a greater degree a workhorse as opposed to it is to especially locking. In any case, there's a misjudged fulfillment to a vehicle that can accomplish such a great deal easily. The styling of the Tacoma demonstrated surprisingly troublesome. A portion of our editors liked the forceful look of this moderate-sized truck while others viewed it as a piece silly and a piece over the top. Toyota offers a dumbfounding exhibit of Tacomas pointed toward varying needs. For our motivations, the TRD game finds some kind of harmony of on-street solace, rough terrainability and moderateness. It would be difficult to pick between the half-breed powertrain and the manual transmission, yet one way or another we'd add the exceptional bundle for its pile of extravagance redesigns. Toyota Tacoma models. The 2024 Toyota Tacoma is a moderate-sized pickup accessible in either a 2-seat, 2-entryway broadened taxi, extra cab, with liberal capacity behind the seats, or a 5-traveler, 4-entryway team taxi, 2-fold taxi. The lengthy taxi accompanies a 6-foot bed, while the group taxi offers a decision of a 5 or 6-foot bed. From that point, Toyota offers the Tacoma in 8 different trim levels: SR, SR5, TRD Prerunner, TRD Game, TRD Rough Terrain, Restricted, TRD Ace and Trailhunter. Continue to peruse for our breakdown of the Tacoma's powertrains and standard and discretionary highlights. The base SR base trim accompanies a turbocharged 2.4-liter motor that produces 228 strength and 243 pounds-to-foot of force. It comes standard with an 8-speed programmed transmission. Back tire drive is standard, and 4-wheel drive with low-range equipping is accessible. The vast majority of the Tacoma's different trims accompany an all the more remarkable rendition of this motor. It creates 278 horsepower and 317 pounds-to-foot of force when matched with the 8-speed programmed. Power drops marginally to 270 horsepower and 310 pounds-to-foot of force when matched with the accessible 6-speed manual transmission. Beating the motor setup is a crossover powertrain that Toyota calls iPower Max. It coordinates the turbocharged motor with a half-and-half battery pack and an electric engine to expand result to a grandiose 326 horsepower and 465 pounds-to-foot. It's discretionary for the TRD Game, TRD Rough Terrain and Restricted trims, and standard on the TRD Master and Trailhunter. It's additionally accessible with the programmed or manual transmission.